Hey family, welcome back to Buzzworthy Veterans. I'm your host, Ant Stroud. Today I have the honor of sitting next to Wally Conway with HomePro Inspections. Not only has he dedicated his life to protecting this country, now he's protecting your homes. Thanks for joining us today, Wally.
Ant, honor be with you.
So, first of all, thank you, because if it wasn't for you, I would not be sitting in this chair today. I definitely appreciate that. But your service has been something that most people strive for. Do the whole 20, have a great career, and then go on to run a business as successful as yours. Let's start with your military service. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I grew up in New Jersey, went off to the Naval Academy. I managed to graduate from there, about a half a dozen people from the bottom, but nonetheless, they gave me a ring and sent me on my way. And I started out, I was a ship's officer on USS Independence. I was the ship's discipline officer on an aircraft carrier, which is kind of ironic. They made me the discipline officer. But I did not end up in the brig, so my reward for good behavior as the discipline officer, I became the navigation division officer. And then at the end of that 2 years and a deployment, I went off to flight school in Pensacola.
That sounds like an amazing career. How did you end up here in Jacksonville?
I got here when I left Pensacola. I ended up in AS Jacksonville. I ended up doing 5 consecutive tours here between Jacksonville and Cecil. Never left the cockpit, just moved between staff and cockpit, staff, cockpit.
They realized what they had and they don't want you to go away.
Or they thought I wouldn't behave well if they let me out of the cockpit. And my final tour, I went down to Puerto Rico after Desert Storm and was involved in operations down there.
Awesome. So let's talk about now HomePro inspection. How do you go from that amazing naval career to doing home inspections?
Well, during my time on active duty, I wanted to buy a house. Houses looked expensive. I didn't think I could afford it, so I started hanging out at construction sites. And I thought, well, these guys don't seem any more clever than me or any of the guys on a ship. So I became what was known as an owner-builder. I bought a piece of dirt, borrowed some money, and built a house. I did that 3 or 4 times, and the state of Florida, this was in the mid-'80s, said, my gosh, you can sit for the state contractor's exam, so I did that. When I retired in '94, it occurred to me I never had a real job. I went from high school, the Naval Academy, into the Navy, so I never had a real job. I was never on an interview, a resume, and the idea of getting a job was very intimidating. The idea of starting a company, that didn't seem so fearful. So I thought about something in real estate because I had been playing in real estate for quite a while. Thought about being an agent, thought about being a mortgage broker. Home inspections was brand new then. In the phone book, you may remember the phone book.
I do.
Some of the younger
Yellow
folks,
pages,
ask your
pages.
grandma. There were 9 home inspectors in the phone book in 1995. And now our staff is larger than the entire industry was when we started. So it's been a great journey.
You have led an amazing career, created an amazing company. Tell us a little bit about that company. What do you do for the people? What can they expect when they call Wally Conway with HomePro Inspections?
Well, the core of what we do is pre-purchase home inspections. So a person's finding a great home, you find them a great home, and we want to make sure it's as great as they thought. And the idea is just to accurately and objectively describe it. Think of it like a physical exam. And our end goal is no surprises after you move in. We want to get that number of surprises as low as they can possibly be. And then we back that up with $100,000 in after inspection warranty protection so that those things that occur after closing or were completely unknowable, we can have some protection financially for that new home buyer.
Gotcha. So they can rest assured that when they buy in the house and Wally Conway and HomePro Inspections has been through the house, that report comes, they are eyes, eagle eyes, and they have some security about when they purchase this home.
They can rest assured we've done everything reasonably possible as far as the training of the staff, the technology and whatnot, and then have that backstop of the warranty position. And it's true, I got to tell you, even after 40,000 houses, things still go wrong. It's like you can go to the Mayo Clinic for 3 days and have a physical, and then you still may get sick in the future. But we want to just control the controllables, avoid the avoidables, and cause that experience to be the best it can.
Well, you know what? That sounds like a great company to have when you need a home inspection. Now, obviously we have our naval career, you have the home inspections. You went from Navy to buying dirt and building this great company from dirt. How was that transition for you when you got out, especially after being in so long?
Well, for me, it was exciting. I'm a turn the page kind of guy. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to go to the Naval Academy, grateful for the time I was able to serve and the guys and girls I served with, but at the same time, when it was done, it was done. So I was excited to start that new adventure, but I brought to the company all of the things we learned together, essentially, in our military service. Here's a PQS card. This is how you perform this function. This is timeliness. This is responsibility.
Gotcha.
So we just lowered or leveraged all those same things we had been taught into the company, and it made it easy to attract customers as well as employees.
So you took what the Navy provided you, taught you, and just reworked it to work for you, your company, and in the civilian sector.
Absolutely.
That is absolutely amazing. And I would want a home inspection by Wally Conway at HomePro Inspections. And if somebody else out there who's watching wanted a home inspection, how would they contact you?
Simplest thing is go to the website, gohomepro.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, and welcome to the family.
I appreciate you.
And for you family members out there, if you want to learn more about Wally Conway and HomePro Inspections, please visit iwannabuzz.com. That's going to do it for this segment of Buzzworthy Veterans. I'm your host, Ant Stroud. And remember, always vets, always family. See you next time.